hope you're all blessed and having a good time because I'm not having a good time. Something catastrophic happened, and I need to address it. And this is family time, and I'm asking for your support. So here I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. You'll understand that this is has got now my priority and um, how I dealt with it. So anyway, uh, Friday was yesterday, and my husband was coming at 6 p.m. So I dressed up for the occasion, and I opened the door at 6 p.m. He was there, yeah. So the evening started absolutely perfectly, yeah. Not 3 seconds late or anything, was there on time. He got the learning, yeah. So I was happy. And it was about -4, really cold weather, and I was feeling a bit chilly, and I don't like putting jumpers, yeah, heavy, like I like being in summer temperature, yeah. So anyway, I asked my husband if he could make some soup, yeah, some soup, um, and so I could warm up, yeah, because otherwise I couldn't um, do any work or anything. So he said, "Yeah, sure," he's supportive, yeah. And he asked me if I had all the ingredients in the fridge for the soup. I said I had all of them except one. I wanted a pumpkin soup of pumpkins, yeah. So all day was freezing. I thought it was a good idea for him to master the elements and not be fearful of the conditions, weather conditions, and go to shop, yeah, and see if there was a pumpkin. We've never seen a pumpkin there, but you never know. This might be the day that there's a pumpkin there. So unless you go, you don't know. He went, came back a little bit later. I told him not to touch me because ice, it's like ice. And no pumpkin. I was disappointed that he didn't come up with an alternative idea of how to find a pumpkin. So I had to. And then you see, I live by the beautiful area by the Epping Forest, and there is the allotments, and some nice pumpkins. I showed you the other day, big pumpkins. Yeah. Oh, husband, just dress as camouflage. Nobody needs to find out. Yeah. If somebody comes to me and says to me, if you are my partner, I said I don't know him. Yes, go and get the pumpkin. I mean, it's cold. Nobody's gonna be in the allotments. It's just 2 minutes. Come back, make the soup. My patient was just, I need the soup now, not tomorrow. Now. Yeah? So he did. So my score was going up. Was going up. Needs to improve. So I scored everything. Yeah. And got the pumpkin, and I was watching Bambi 2. Bambi 2. He took a long time, but considering I was cold, he could have hurried out, And he knows exactly how I like my soup. It's got to be the exact temperature where when you have it, it doesn't burn, and it warms you up gradually. Yeah? That's the whole point of going to the shop and getting the pumpkin and cooking it, that I get warm. So my necessities are met, and he's my husband, and he's there to do that. That's the marriage rules. Like you agreed when we're spiritually married. So anyway, he was very romantic. He put a candle and some glasses with a glass of cider, an alcoholic cider, because if I drink, I go even really higher than already am. So not advisable. So I thought that was amazing. I was very grateful, and I took the first spoon, and you know, tasted fantastic. I mean, nothing escapes me, as you can see. Nothing escapes me. I was in the process of writing the soup, and the red was going to be a good one, till I noticed that it was half degree off. It wasn't the right temperature to warm me up. And I specifically told him that the soup was for warming up purposes. So there was, I would have some chips, something else more fun than a soup. Yeah, soup's a party. Yeah, but he did put some croutons. I like croutons, crunchy. So I stood up, and he said to me, "What's the matter, babes?" I said, "Just not hungry anymore." Went upstairs and I did the thing that I dread the most. I had to put a jumper on, and I don't look good on jumpers on camera. Yeah? And my vein side is very strong as well. And this is the time with my parts. I allow them to come out and have the fun. Yeah. And then the main personality watches the video and also has her fun. Yeah. And whoever is watching. Yeah. Doesn't matter about you. It's about me. Anyway, he comes up, and I realized that he was very eager to turn on the TV. Football highlights. He loves the football. But he loves the football anyway. And then it clicked. It was revealed to me. My narrative. The reason why the soup was. I know. I can't believe it either. I can't believe it. How can somebody make a soup to where you are and it's half a degree wrong, Who does that? Nobody. The reason why it happened is because he was hurrying up now to make sure that he could be on time for the highlights. What is BBC iPlayer for? You can watch it anytime. But the football suddenly became more important than my bare necessities. He had been self-sabotage. Selfish. Really selfish. So imagine how I was feeling at this time. Neglected, everything is going overthinking, No fair. Had some work to do. So I had to cancel everything. Everything was like, people were grumpy last minute, but tough. It was an emergency. I am a priority. So I decided to leave my husband watching football. And I went downstairs. And I thought I took some time researching. My time is valuable. The most expensive hotel around, with jacuzzi, room service, yeah. And I used my husband's credit card. That was my revengeful part. Yeah, I was happy. Yeah, as the main personality, yeah. I waited for him to go to the loo, and then quickly I got some stuff ready and I left. Don't think he realized I had gone. I thought he thought I was, but it doesn't matter. He, use your intuition, and I'm always okay. So to the hotel. Then I went to the, I put the jacuzzi, and I hadn't finished watching Bambi 2. So I thought I'd finish watching Bambi 2. Just chill out for the evenings, Order a warm soup at that temperature, and have the soup, the jacuzzi, watching Bambi. Perfect. I thought this, wow, a genius idea, So I had to do it. So in there, jacuzzi on, and the phone rings. And he was an old friend, a very good friend of mine, friend client, And knew that I was busy, chilling, but Bambi too is nice, liked it. The beginning was very catchy, so I didn't really want to be disturbed. Then a message pop up, emergency, please help. So I don't know. If I need an incentive here to answer, so I replied, sure, but it's spread that I was chilling the jacuzzi watching Bambi, and if he required my assistance, I would charge him 3 times the usual amount. Financial incentive. Suddenly, he don't mind doing it. It's a motivation behind. You get king. I listen to whatever you have to say. Anyway, so still in the jacuzzi, talking to my friend. His name is Peter. So yes, Peter. And he said to me, "Have you been watching the movies?" I said, "I was watching Mommy. Has anything happened?" He said that this is, I forgot the name of the bank, but this bank in not far from where I live in London, have been taken back with the biggest criminals in the UK, and they were hostages, and I thought, so things like this happen all the time. I don't see the emergency yet. And he said that his best friend from school, and it was like a brother, was one of the hostages. Okay, understand, the sadness of it, but it's not like if you can do anything and it was an emergency. What are you calling me? Yeah, and by me, so I'll advise him. And I said, well, I think what you should do is just keep watching the TV and see what happens, see if he gets rescued. Really, sometimes when some people ask me for advice, it's pretty obvious. But at the moment they are distressed, they cannot see it. Yeah. And he said to me that he wanted to do something about it and he wanted to help rescue him. I know Peter very well. He's got a strong ego, kind of like sort of self-grandier. He can do this. He was being self-sabotage, obviously. He delusionally thought that he could do this on his own. Deep inside, he didn't know. He knew he couldn't, so that's why he called me. He wanted me to drop everything and go with him. Bambi or that? I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's going to have to be Bambi. But then he said to me that his friend is a millionaire and that he obviously was going to ask him to really reward me to do my charity. My charity is about me. I'm a charity that people can put something so I can buy myself presents. I think it's new idea. I like it. So, and I thought, if we start with £50,000 from him, founder of the charity, I thought, great. Again, financial incentives. That's how the ego, because the metrics of the world, is runs on money and power, So, and I was on ego mode, so financial gain, 50,000, and I go there with Peter. It's awesome. Peter drove there while I had a nap. I told him to wake me up when we arrived. Chill for a little while. And then we, it was a big thing, the police cars and the FBI was there, yeah, and they even have guns. I thought guns were banned in the UK. I don't know. I've never been in a situation like that. So Peter and I were just right behind, behind a car, just checking what was happening. And then Peter said, Amor, I said, no, I know, I'm on it. There were two police officers, yeah, at the back, and we were right just behind, a few 2 or 3 meters, they didn't know we were there. Luckily, there was a female, quite petite, and a male officer. And obviously I knew Peter wanted to dress up, wanted to get the outfits from the officers. So I was on it, I was recording them to go to sleep, have a little nap, I would take the clothes, play the part. And I was telling my acting parts, the ones that would win an Oscar to pop in, because obviously I needed to have been a policewoman, and neither has been Peter, so I was recording everybody. Downloading templates of policemen, just how you shoot a gun in case I need to pretend, So by the time I finished, I was on board. And we turned the radio on of the officer so we could hear what was happening. And apparently they were ready to, they decided that it was better to go in and not wait anymore, because they fear that the life of the hostages. And Peter was very happy. He wanted to go in and rescue his friend. So I thought, and then suddenly, the phone that he was on, that I was wearing, ringed. I was a phone then, so I answered. And then I put it down because I thought I better check who I was supposed to be. So anyway, I check all the papers, my badge, my name. Thanks God. Her name was Carmela. Yeah, she was Spanish. I thought, good. I don't have to speak on a British accent. I can speak when I answer again, if they call again. And as I'm reading, I was on top of I was the authoritative figure. It just happened to be that I was the decision maker. Suddenly, I was in complete control. I thought, great. So the phone rings again, so I answer. It was Officer PCO, Roberts, I don't know. Roberts, yes. And he said they were waiting for my instructions to go in. I said, yes, I'm just checking my thoughts, so I'll call you back when I'm ready to make a decision. I said, okay. So I worked out a plan. It was ingenious, but it took 3 seconds. 3 seconds. I thought, well, this is what I'm gonna do. So I called him back. He appreciated how fast I called back. Yeah. And I told Officer Robert that I was gonna go in. I wasn't willing to put my team at risk as the person authority. I was gonna do the work, but I was gonna take Officer Carlos. It was Spanish as well. Peter became Carlos. That was his badge. The thing is, I didn't read Carlos' badge. He was the first aid person. He wasn't anything to do with guns or strategy, but I told them that I didn't like to be questioned. and I was gonna take Officer Carlos with me. If any of them question me, I could make sure they would be fired. So it was up to them. No pressure. Pressure. I was really enjoying. I mean, now it wasn't just about the 50,000, something else. It was funny. It was funny. It was an authority. And Peter was happy as well going to rescue. It was exciting. And then we were going to go in. I said, wait a minute, there's something I need to do first. I need to take care of one of my needs. So I called Officer Robert. And I told him that after the rescue, because I knew it was going to be all right, to make sure that there was a limousine ready for myself, Officer Carlos, and whatever his friend was, the one we were rescue. And that I needed the limousine for the whole day. And because I needed it for Peter and his friend to stay there while I went to ask them to book this 5 Michelin star restaurant for me to have a good meal. I deserved it after all hard work. So I thought I'd do it in style. And I didn't want to be listening to, whatever happened. I wasn't interested. So I thought I'd just chill out, have a nice meal, and then I go back to the limousine, and they can drop me home, and the other two, they can just drive around and have fun, have a good day. I wasn't paying for it, so they could just get the limousine for the whole day. All good. So we went inside, and I was already recording all of the criminals, knocking them down. And then the main one, I thought I make Carlos dream true, which is Peter. Yeah. If you're getting confused, just keep up. And I thought, because his ego was inflated, that I'm making a superhero, yeah. So I started super conscious to knock him out when Peter was next to him, and then Peter did like a martial art move, and then that move would be like pretend that was what knocked the criminal down. So I got there. There was Peter. That's the kung fu move. The other one drops and everybody clapping. It was spectacular. And then Peter was giving all of these autographs. He was really happy. I was very happy. And then I went to the limousine and came back, and then I went back to the hotel. And then I remember, I wonder if my husband has watched me on TV. As Officer Carmel. So that's good. At least, he can. I don't need to call him or text him, and he says to me, "Why didn't you text me?" Well, I assume you watch me on TV. Sure, it's gonna be adverts on BBC and on BBC One, whatever you're watching, and it's at top of the SBI that I was at that moment. You notice it was me. I know that I'm okay. No biggie. So yeah, that's what happened. I thought I'll share it with you. Yes, I always feel better after you talking to you. I'm so grateful for this family group, family supportive group. We can all share our experience and let all the parts have the little fun and play. So anyway, I shall say goodbye, and I'll till next time, next video. I love you. Bye bye.